Yeah, I'm Fazil Khan from Aero 3A. Today I'm going to discuss on mechanical properties of material. So in this my topic is stress. So we are going to see what stress is and all about stresses. So basically stress is defined as a ratio of force to the cross-sectional area. As you can see the as you can see in the diagram, and their formula is there, and stress is uh, defined by sigma stress. So stresses are expressed as the ratio of the applied force divided by the resisting area, as I said before. And mathematically it is sigma equals to force per area, and stress units are Newton per meter square or Pascal, or IKPA equals to 1000 Pascal, and 1 megapascal equals to 106 Pascal. When a material is subjected to an external force, a resisting force is set up within the component. This internal resistance force per unit area is called stress. This internal resistance force per unit area is called stress. SI unit is Newton per meter square Pascal, and 1 kilopascal is equals to 1000 Pascal, and 1 megapascal equals to 10 to the power of 6 Pascal, and 1 gigapascal terapascal is equals to 10 to the power of 12 Pascal. So when a material is subjected to an external force, so then the resisting force is set up within the component. Then the internal force per unit area is called as stress. So SI units is in Newton per meter square Pascal, or in engineering applications we use the original cross section area of the sand. It is known as conventional stress, engineering stress. Here you can see the classification of stresses. So stress are divided into mainly three parts: direct stress or simple stress, and indirect stress, then combined stress. So again, the direct stress or simple stress are divided into two more parts. There are shear stress and normal stress, and again normal stress is divided into two more components. Those are tensile stress and compressive stress. Indirect stress. Indirect stress are torsional stress and bending stress. So this is the classification of stresses, how they are classified. Normal stress. So in normal stress, the resisting area will be perpendicular to the applied force. When the material is applied to a force, so the resisting area will be perpendicular to the applied force. Tensile stress. It is a stress induced in a body when it is subjected to two equal and opposite pulls. Uh, when stress is induced in a body, and then it is subjected to two equal and opposite pulls, it is known as tensile force, as a result of which there is tendency in increase in length. It acts normal to the area and pulls on the area. So when a stress induced in a body, it is subjected to equal and opposite pulls, it is known as tensile force, uh, in which body length will be increased, and this tensile stress acts normal to the area and pulls on the area. Compressive stress. Stress induced in a body when subjected to two equal and opposite pushes, as a result of which there is a tendency of decrease in length of the body. It acts normal to the area, and it pushes on the area. So stress induced on a body which subjected to two equal and opposite pushes, it is known as compressive stress, in which the body length will be decreased, and which acts normal to the area and pushes on the area. Combined stress. a condition of stress that cannot be represented by a single resultant stress. So combined stress cannot be represented by a single resultant stress. Shear stress. Forces parallel to the area resisting the force cause shearing stress. It differs to tensile and compressive stresses, which are caused by force perpendicular to the area on which they act. Shearing stress is also known as tangential stress. So shear stress is also known as tangential stress, and there are forces which parallel to the area resisting the force causing shearing stress, and these are different from tensile and compressive stresses. Torsional stresses. The stresses and deformations induced in a circular shaft by a twisting movement is known as torsional stress. Here you can see the examples how compression two equal and opposite pushes are there, and in tension two equal and opposite pulls are there, force acting on the body, and shear stress equal and opposite uh, and here torsion stress and bending stress when a body supported by two rigid and force is applied from the up, the body will form stresses. Here you can see the examples of stresses. uh, Tensional stress in which body length will be increased, you can see how it is deforming from the middle, and compressional stress where the body length is decreasing, and here third one is the shear stress. So relation between stress and strain. Hooke's law defines that within elastic limit, the ratio of stress applied to strain developed is constant. The constant is known as modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus, elastic modulus. So Hooke's law states that it is the within the elastic limit, the ratio of stress applied to strain developed as constant, and the constant is known as modulus of elasticity or Young modulus or elastic modulus. Mathematically, strain is defined as epsilon naught equals to stress by strain. Young's modulus epsilon naught is generally assumed to be in tension or compression, and for most of engineering application has high numerical value. Typically, it is known as 210 into 10 to the power 210 into 10 to the power of 9 Newton per meter square for steel. Here you can see the curve for stress and strain. At the x-axis strain is plotted, and at the y-axis stress is plotted. Uh, you can see that deforming particles and actual rupture strength and ultimate strength. R is defined for rupture strength, Y is yield point, and E is elastic limit, and P is proportional limit. Stress strain curve tensile test diagram. Limit of proportionality. It is a point where the linear nature of the stress strain graph ceases. So limit of proportionality is the point where linear nature of stress strain graph ceases. Elastic limit. It is a limit point for the condition that material behaves elastically, but Hooke's law doesn't apply. For most practical purposes, it can be often assumed that limit of proportionality and elastic limits are the same beyond the elastic limits. There will be some permanent deformation or permanent set when the load is removed. So elastic limit is the limiting point for the material behaves elastically, but Hooke's law doesn't apply for this elastic limit. And for most practical purposes, it can be often assumed that limit of proportionality and elastic limits are the same beyond the elastic limits. There will be some permanent deformation or permanent set when the load is removed. The C point, upper yield point, and D is the lower yield point. Points after which strain increases without correspondingly high increase in load or stress. Ultimate or maximum tensile stress. Point where the necking starts. F is for fracture point. Thank you.